and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. It's Sunday, so it's time for a Scraplift Crafternoon, where me and my friends get together and find something that inspires us and we scraplift it. And today we are scraplifting Sarah Millerhouse Creates and this amazing layout. Y'all need to go check out her YouTube because it is amazing. So I am going to use the Starter Stash birthday kit from Peace Craft Love, and it is the Happy Birthday by Echo Park, and it comes with 10 double-sided Echo Park papers from this collection, and that's what I use for my entire layout minus my embellishments. Actually, some of them do come from this kit. Can you tell where I cut my hexagons out from? But these are the papers and I wanted to share those with you, and I cut them in the middle for my Cricut so that I could use those to use matte in the back. And so I'm going to use these salvaged patina and mustard seed, as well as I don't use the distress. I ended up changing it to the translucent because I didn't want it to be white where I put it down. So I changed it to the Distress Grit Paste translucent. And I just was sharing the different things I've cut out. And then I have that Celebrate. That actually came from the dollar store. And then I have this Wish by Studio G, I think, and I don't use that. But then I have these Stickles adhesive embellishments. And then both of these, I know are Recollections that came from Michael's. And these are the pictures I'm going to document. It's my nephew taking a deep breath so he can blow out the candles on his birthday cake. And I love these pictures. They're so fun. So I've got my paper, my mixed media, my embellishments, my pictures, and the sketch. So let's see how it goes. Not a sketch, well, I said this sketch. It's a layout. Good gravy. Anyway, so I'm going to get started with my blending brush and use the mustard seed first. And I'm kind of going in the same general idea of where hers are, leaving corners uninked, because then you can see that cool blue scallop in the background. And so then I do the salvage patina over on the other side. And I will say, this is probably one of my favorite colors. My son, who's 13, just went through all of my inks yesterday, and he determined salvage patina is his favorite color too. So, although I do have a hard time choosing. So I did leave some uninked or less inked space in the middle on purpose. I did want a little bit of dimension, and I do heavy hand and light hand in different places. And I did blend right down the middle a little, so there was a smidge of green. I wasn't sure what would be shown after everything gets down, but I did do that on purpose. So then I get this stencil, and this stencil is from the Vicky Booten Sweet Rush collection, and I just adore these stencils, especially when I'm doing something like this where it's in different places, and it's X's and O's, and I just put the Distress Grit Paste Translucent by Ranger, it's Tim Holtz, straight through in different places. And I just love that. And when I do the final one up in the top left corner, some of the yellow ink from where I had already done the ink blending comes up with the paste. And I love that because it adds a little bit of yellow to that corner and on top of the blue. So that is fabulous. And then I take Lucky Clover in the Distress Oxide Spray, and I put that down on this Celebrate, and I use a paintbrush to do it, and I'm just leaving it there to dry right now. And it kind of tones down more to almost a teal than a green, which is what I was thinking I wanted. But I really do love it because it really is, I'm going to say that more than one time, I guess. It is a good blend between the salvage patina and then some of the teal that is in this collection. So I have my little hexagons over there, and I have distressed all of them just like she did. I have a frame that I cut out, and I have some hearts. So I went ahead and cut those out of my Cricut from those two papers because I knew I could flip them and have 4 patterns. And so now I'm looking for something to map my pictures on, and I cut out 2 of these. A, I like the color, and B, I'm less likely to want to use those in future layouts. And just now you saw me writing down the date on the back of the picture. Now I can reference current pictures a little easier because I keep a daily journal, just a short little journal that says, you know, the things that happen each day. No like emotion or, you know, my feelings or anything. It's literally just work, grocery, moms, you know, whatever, something simple like that, or anything that I may have taken pictures of. I usually will just jot them down in 2 lines in a little notebook, and that way I can go back and reference it. But I do like to try and remember to do that because when I'm using older pictures, I don't always remember. So, and I can't always reference when that happened. So I'm building this out while I am trying to wait on my background to dry. But and I want to use the cupcake side of that frame, but once I get the hexagons down, that's not going to work because it doesn't stand out on the page. So I am going to end up flipping it to where the green stars are the frame, but that's okay. That's why I picked these 2 papers, because I liked both sides. So I was able to flip things as I needed to. I made 10 hexagons. It was perfectly fine. I probably could have made another one, but or 2, but I really enjoyed the way that I could work these out to tuck them in. And then I always use my scraps if I can. And you will see how I use, I think, all of them. I cut some things out, but at some point I think you can see the majority of all the little partial bits. So like right here, you can see that little partial green one and the little, and so I'm going to cover them, but I have another piece of blue that's right there over on the right. And so I'm going to be able to put that down just in case anything is showing or sticks out once I put the pictures down. So I'm going to put that right there between the cupcake and that plaid. I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm sorry. Sorry, you all. So I am trying to figure out right here what I'm going to do about the picture frame, because I'm thinking that it's going to be too, it's going to blend in too much if I use that cupcake one. So I'm going to end up flipping it, because part of the frame touches where the cupcake paper, that hexagon, is up there. So I am using double-sided tape to get these shapes down, but I am using Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to keep them there for good. So the double-sided tape works for a short term on this texture paste, but I would not just depend on that solely for like long term, because the texture paste especially, I mean, even on the ink, the double-sided tape will hold, but maybe not long term. So usually anytime I mix type of mixed media, I will use Nuvo Deluxe adhesive on there because it's my favorite adhesive. So I have this little piece here, and I'm trying to think of how I can use that. I'm trying to decide if I want to cover that little space right there to the right of the picture. And I just decide that I'm okay with it because she has spaces in different places as well. She does have 2 hexagons that come off the side on the right, and I only have the one. So I guess I could have tucked that there, but it was not. And when I put it down, it did make me happy. So I am putting the pictures down, and right now the pictures only have one piece of double-sided tape right in the middle so that I could tuck if I wanted to, and if I don't want to tuck, then I can tape or glue. If it's on top of paper, I'll tape it. If it's on top of the mixed media, I will glue it, and maybe a little of both. So I get all of those down, and the inside of that frame, because I cut it on the Cricut, it obviously cut the inside out too. I go ahead and put that down, flip the other way, so that way it's got that cupcakes on it and brings that in, and it kind of blends in because everything is the same kind of color scheme, but I like the way that it looks, and I'm going with the way she has hers. She's got a little frame tucked in. So the next thing I'm going to do is start adding the embellishments. And like I said, these orange and blue embellishments are from Recollections. They were in these little 99-cent packs that I bought many years ago. I couldn't even tell you when because I cut the packaging thing off so it would fit in one of my little pouches that I used to keep my stickers in. So I am taping down the corners because I'm not going to tuck at the bottom. I'm going to overlap. And I put this happy birthday. And then I'm just going to kind of do very similar to her, although her starts pretty much in the top left and goes down to the bottom right. Mine's going to start right about here where I put this cake. And that cake is from a cut apart from the collection. So those colors are obviously going to match perfectly. And I cut the happy birthday or the birthday off of the top because I didn't need that. So I just cut that out because I loved having the color and it gave me something a little bigger than all these small things that I'm using to create my clusters and my diagonal. And that's about as far over as my embellishments are going to go. I do put like a little star up there on the left side of the cake, but it's overlapping, so it's pretty much that's as far as it's going to go. And so then I'm just going to continue going down in to the right and filling in all those spaces, tucking things. And I use both the Recollections kits, all that orange and blue and all the orange and light blue, because they all really go well together with this collection. The oranges are not spot on the collection, but I felt like they went well enough. And since they go with each other, it's not like they'd be the only one on there. So I put that Celebrate down, but there's this big gap right here, and I didn't like that. So I fussy cut a cupcake out of one of the cut aparts, and it had a candle on it, but I didn't need the candle, so I went ahead and cut that off. And of course, I didn't put enough glue on the bottom of this piece of cake. So I've put some more adhesive underneath there and then leave it alone. And then I have this itty bitty little piece I was trying to place earlier of the hexagon, and you can't really see it. You can barely see it coming through the word Celebrate, but I thought instead of having a gap there, I would go ahead and put that there. And then it looks like it's just tucked up underneath the cupcake. So then I add that Celebrate with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I think the next thing I'm going to do is, I decided to add this present. I wasn't going to put it on there. It's got a little pink like flower on it. There's no pink on this layout. I didn't really want that. I mean, not that my nephew cares, I'm sure, but I just decided I'd go ahead and leave it alone. I considered pulling it off, but the actual 3D part is just covering the same dang thing. So it's fine. A little bit of pink's not going to hurt anything. And my best friend's not in this picture. So I put all of that aside and clean up my space a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out, I want something else. I want to finish extending that bottom right corner with something, even if it's just a little something. So I get out my embellishments from the paper studio. And I have these stars, and they're silver, so I haven't really got, there is a little silver in this layout already. So I go ahead and just add stars in the bigger and the smaller size, just going down that diagonal. And then I put one bigger one in the bottom right corner so that it will extend it almost to the edge of the paper. It's not going to come off the paper because it's like a puffy sticker, but it pretty much comes all the way down so that it finishes out that diagonal line. And I like the way that that looks, and I am thrilled with the way this layout turned out. Please go check out Sarah Millerhouse Creates on YouTube. Her layouts are absolutely phenomenal. These last two little word phrase things I pull out, they're puffy stickers from Prima Magic Love. They're just little word phrases that say fill my heart with hugs and loving you every single day. And I just thought it would add a little bit of that off-white that is in the plaid. I didn't want to put any white Tim Holtz letters down or word phrases down because this is an off-white pretty much layout. So, like I said, please go check out Sarah Millerhouse Creates on YouTube. You all, I just watched another one of her videos where she was like building this water back part. And I mean, you just need to go check her out. Okay. It's fantastic. So also, please go below to the playlist and you can watch all of the amazing creatives who hop along with me on Scraplift Crafternoon. There are 5 or 6 of us on a regular. Sometimes we are on, some of us take vacation and we are not, our videos aren't up for each week, but you will see their channel links if there is not a direct link. So I hope you'll come back and see me again really soon, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Happy scrapping!